Travis Wayne Goodsell. Well, we're closing in on 400 now, as I'm sure it may have caught up to 300 on the channel or the video that you're watching. But we'll take a break from that for the moment, as I have a very special ceremony that I want you to partake in with me. You may have noticed that on my right hand I've had this ring, and it's a Star of David, and if you're somewhat knowledgeable, you'll recognize that it's the Shield of David, not just the Star of David. And if you noticed, there's eagles. Can you see them? Trying to, on either side. Now, I got this back in 2017 before I learned about church history. So you'll have to excuse me. It's taken me this long to correct it. Thus the ring ceremony. The two eagles is for the Scottish Rites Freemasonry. What? Are they Jewish? No. No, they're not. However, they were infiltrated by the Illuminati, as I've gone over with you in church history, LDS church history. And they took over Joseph Smith's organization, rose to power, rose to office, and then murdered Joseph Smith and took over his church as one of the branch-offs. Can you guess which one? So, it still works for symbolism because I am from that apostate, great and abominable church branch. And so thus, having gone through the temple, I am technically a Brighamite, Scottish Rites Illuminati Freemason. And let's get this centered. And it's necessary now to upgrade my ring. Golden version, no eagles, just golden, not gold. I'm not that rich. I'm not rich at all. Got it on Amazon, very cheap. So, if you're recognizing, the Star of David contains two triangles woven together, and they look a lot like the delta symbol in Greek, right? You know Greek and delta, or delta force, or delta gamma pi mu. Yeah, Greek. Now, Greek is not a Semitic language, yet for some reason everybody thinks Hebrew is. When it has the exact same characters in Paleo-Hebrew with Greek. They both came from Phoenician, and so thus, since Paleo-Hebrew kept the exact same characters, letters, whereas Greek went on to add and include letters that were considered vowels. I just call Phoenician Paleo-Hebrew. And as I've also told you among my many videos, we're flipping over to the next hour. We got 74. People were on their lunch break, I guess, and wanting to eat rather than listen to my video. 78 in the previous hour. So here we begin a brand new hour with one. We just flipped over into 1 minute after. And so being the one who deciphered Paleo-Hebrew. Yeah, nobody else deciphered it. Nobody even knew how to translate it. Because if you don't decipher a language, you don't know how to translate it. And so, because nobody else did it, and I wanted to know, I then had to do the work necessary to find out for myself. And my initial research publications are packed because, remember, the church has been trying to have me assassinated. How dare I sue them for their attempt to assassinate me? And so, yeah, they've been constantly trying to assassinate me. Thus, this is a big deal. This video, this breakout video right before conference. This is like a godsend. Not a Goodsell or Goodsell or sun god, but yeah, I'll talk about it in another video. And so in Paleo-Hebrew, there are different attachments to different Egyptian characters. Now, if you know anything about Egyptian, they have characters. They have a script font, a linear script font, but the main Egyptian we all recognize as actual characters being represented and combined together to make words and so on. And the original theory was finally developed, or claimed to have been deciphered, by William Foxwell Albright. He's now dead, but it doesn't matter. I would have trash-talked him for how wrong he was when he was alive, if I were deciphered at the same time that he was alive. But he deciphered it as Semitic. So yeah, he deciphered Semitic Hebrew, but that's post-captivity Jewish Hebrew. They still clung to the original script, as the Samaritans continued to use that script as well. But the Jews then decided, no, we don't like this. We're going to Aramaic script for our Hebrew. Those damn Samaritans. And if you don't know your Bible stories about why they're hating each other, I refer you to there. And so nobody, therefore, had deciphered Paleo-Hebrew. And everybody just assumed, going off of William Foxwell Albright's theory, that Paleo-Hebrew was an original form of the same characters. And so when he deciphered the Proto-Sinaitic in a cave in the Sinai, thus Proto-Sinaitic, he assumed that was the original script upon which the linear scripts then derived. Wrong. No. And in fact, the cave carvings that he found are actually far younger than he is claiming. And so if you see a certain guy on YouTube selling his Proto-Sinaitic Hebrew Bible and dictionary and grammar, well, you can now know what's going on. So my publications, I was only able to get published the full script research. And you can go to academia.edu to get PDFs of the free stuff. And I think you can even see it on academia.edu as well. And so if you don't want to download it, that's fine. I wasn't able to continue on to the vocabulary because there was this whole end of the world thing going on. And I recognized it and needed to get to work on that. So it sort of put a stop to that research, or publishing of that research. As I have demonstrated in my videos every now and again how the Paleo-Hebrew vocabulary works, which I'll sum up for you. It's a 2-letter vocabulary, not 3 for Semitic, 2. And they have, on occasion, depending on the word you're using, a prefix determinative. It's like an adjective. So if I say my 2-letter word is tree, well, what kind of tree, Travis? Then I'd put one of the 22 letters in front to then describe which tree I'm referring to. Oh, a Christmas tree, for example. And they also have suffix determinatives, as the most common one that is in Scripture is the N, as we'll call it. In Greek, it's nu. Should conform Paleo-Hebrew into the Greek phonemes to be closer to more accurate, rather than the Semitic versions. So Yod, for example, which is the letter for the Hebrew God, it's often pronounced Yahweh, but the shortened form is Yah. Well, yeah, that comes from the Greeks, Zeus. The US is the masculine singular ending. So you drop that off, because that's not how it works in Paleo-Hebrew. And now you have the exact same word for the exact same God of each. And of course, because they're different cultures, they then attribute different stories to talk about their God in their different cultures. And that's how it's split between the Paleo-Hebrewites and the Paleo-Greekites. So they are one and the same God. I'm the one who made that discovery because I deciphered Paleo-Hebrew. And many other discoveries have I made because I deciphered Paleo-Hebrew. And so the N at the end, when it's a person, it then turns that person into a king. King. So Solomon, king of peace. Samson, sun king. And then if it's a place, then it becomes kingdom, obviously. And so Babylon, kingdom of Babel. Unfortunately, the Tower of Babel is in Beirut, Lebanon. There you go, breaking news for you. I've already done the videos talking about it, but everybody else thinks Ur of Babylon, and some people realizing, no, it couldn't have been. So let's go north to Sumer, and we'll consider them Ur of Babylon. No, guys, Abraham is Egyptian. Did you not trust Joseph Smith when he said so in facsimile number 1, figure number 10, is it? Abraham in Egypt. What's the story in Abraham chapter 1 talking about with this particular scene? He's in Ur of Babylon, of the Chaldees, where he is being sacrificed, like the 3 virgins, was it? Because I don't think it was 10 virgins. And so, yeah. So the D for Delta is a pyramid shape. So, yeah, pyramid. Also, other shapes. Now, this is where I was able to decipher Egyptian petroglyphs. It's because I deciphered Paleo-Hebrew. And that enabled me to finish Joseph Smith's translation with the Book of Abraham and even translate the Book of Joseph. Real simple, real easy once you decipher the language. If you're familiar with Sir Alan Gardner's sign list, and you might even know of Budge, who did one as well, they do not put any of the signs in the petroglyphs. Okay. I've got a delivery coming. Again. They couldn't put them together. And so, as a result, yeah, I'm the decipherer of Egyptian petroglyphs, because the Egyptologists, whose job it was to do so with their doctorates, their PhDs, are clueless. They have no clue. If you watch the John DeLynn interview with John Gee's Egyptian teacher, and the one guy who's on the phone talking, he asks or tells him that Joseph Smith himself said in the Book of Abraham to refer to the facsimile, and then posits that Joseph Smith wasn't translating the text, he was translating the petroglyphs. And the Egyptologist had a concerned, confused look on his face and stayed silent. It's because he didn't know. Here he is, able to shame his former student an Egyptian for his ridiculous publications and claims about the Book of Abraham. Oh, if we find the missing scroll portion of the Book of Abraham, we will then find that it can be translated into what Joseph Smith did. So yeah, the church was wise enough to say, no, get the hell out of here. We're not having you involved in that portion of the Joseph Smith papers. Fun times. And so another symbol or another character related to the triangle are women's breasts. Now they all tie in together at different translation levels. And it's kind of difficult to explain without showing you in pictures. But I've done the videos talking about how Genesis incorporates the Heliopolis creation glyph, petroglyph, in multiple places throughout Genesis. And I'm the one who discovered, because everybody else has thought incorrectly, that Genesis chapter 1 and 2 are not two separate scrolls. They're the same scroll. And, they're one stop away. Okay, so... And so, yeah, I won't explain it for you. I'll just refer you to. I have on my home page. I have. I think it's Joseph Smith as translator is what it's called. All the different translation ones, so you can see if you can find it in there. But yeah, the double D is actually for women's breasts, and it means love in both ways of sexual love and baby nurturing love. That's how they were able to use pictures to have their language. Oh man, and that one's... Alright, so the shield around the outside is a circle. That's another Paleo-Hebrew character. If you don't know Paleo-Hebrew, you're going to miss it as a result. And so instead of the Star of David, it's now the Shield of David. And the Shield of David with the circle, which is the symbol of the sun, that's universally known. Even China uses it, even though they squared the sun off. It's the exact same symbol everywhere around the world. And as a result, it is a prefixed determinative. So it's describing David, or love, sexual or nurturing, and refers to it. Brown Driver Briggs calls it the restoring prophet, but they don't know Egyptian, and it's referring to Horus, who restores the kingdom of Osiris, thus the restoring king and high priest. I'm concerned. They just moved, but they're not saying I'm next. So we'll continue on. But I've talked about how the 18th dynasty is the David-Moses dynasty. And so we're waiting for a Jewish version of a Messiah to restore the throne. So when I come back, we'll do the ring ceremony. Alright, so without any further ado, brethren, adieu. If you have not heard my video on that, that portion of the Book of Mormon in Jacob, the usurper, comes from the mystic tie of a famous Scottish Rites Grand Master who gave a farewell address back in the ancient day. And there it is in the Book of Mormon. Why is it in the Book of Mormon? What's going on? That's what's going on. I did the video that everybody is confused about because they don't think to think that I have other videos. Alright, so the other ring off, we'll store it away. And the new one is now being restored. Yay! Mazel tov! So, you might have noticed that there's somebody missing from this video. Yeah. Hi, Baby Yoda. And so, can we see if it'll fit on your finger? Nope. I'm too big for you. Uh-oh. So, yeah. Baby Yoda. The reason why I got him is because they mentioned that Baby Yoda, and I did the video to start off this whole thing with this little guy. If you've been paying attention, I know one of you have, and he hasn't commented after I made my comment about, I have no idea what you're talking about, Random Muse. But in the show, he's a baby. Everybody calls him Baby Yoda, but he's 50 years old. Now, Star Wars has Jewish symbolisms in it. The names and some of the philosophies come from Judaism. And so, as the learning of the Jews is mentioned in the Book of Mormon, you'd think Mormons would pursue a more Jewish understanding of things than the Christian one, that they keep insisting that Mormons are Christian. And so 50 represents the Jubilee year for the Jews, and they even have a whole book, the Book of Jubilees. You're not going to find it in your Old Testament. It's a separate book, did not get put in. And it's the year when the prisoners go free, and that's also part of the second coming signs, isn't it? The prisoners will be set free. And as of last year, during the Jewish New Year, when Ruth Bader Ginsburg died that evening of the night of the start of the Jewish New Year, it was 3,333 years from when the Exodus, according to the Jewish time, occurred. Now remember the eagles? The double eagle for Scottish Rites Masonry. The honorary highest rank is 33 degrees. 33 doubled. Do you think somebody might have been aware of something and was purposely using the Bible to commit their portion of evil upon mankind? Because there was a coronavirus that they experienced in Egypt. There were stars falling from the heaven, 3 days of darkness. Yeah, and so this little Judah master, see, they just changed the vowels, is significant to that end, that the Jews do understand that it's a mortal man, not a deity coming from outer space flying on a flying horse. John in Revelation says it's a sign. And so yes, the Book of Mormon, 3rd Nephi 11, oh, he comes from outer space? Yeah. And Nephi, yeah, this is where church history is necessary to get correct. Because the church keeps telling us, oh, we changed Nephi to Moroni to more accurately conform to what Joseph Smith meant. Excuse me? If Joseph Smith said Nephi the whole time, I think he would have meant Nephi. So, there you go. The ring ceremony. One ring to rule them all. My precious. And yes, that also has symbolism in it. And, yep. Lots of people have symbols of their particular belief system. But we are living in the time period. 2017, 2024, guys. It's now. We're in the middle. Literally. So, hang on. I'll do another video about why this video is so important and how it ties to this.